Hi. I'm so rude. Sitting here stuffing my face because I haven't eaten anything per usual. Yeah, David, you was early today, baby. Hey, Norman. How's it going? So what we talking about today, y'all? Y'all know what it is. Except for I had filmed like a little um explainer, I guess, for the video. And it's been uploading. It has been uploading to this computer for at least the last hour. I don't know. This this is just part of the mess that my computer is. It's literally taking an hour. And I'm saving it at um not even the highest resolution, the lowest resolution possible, 480, I think. I am saving it at that resolution, and it is still taking forever to upload. So I'm trying to talk a little bit. What we're discussing today is Star Trek Discovery, Season 5, Episode 9. Um, Tell me what you guys thought of this episode while I tell you ways that you can assist the channel. The big one is just go ahead on and hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet done so. Hit the subscribe button. You know you want to. I'm not pressuring you, but you know you want to. So hit that button. If you like to financially support the show, you can do that by super chat. You can do that by becoming a member, joining the channel. You can become a patron over at patreon.com/Tasha Pierce. You can also give me a tip via Linktree, which is in the description. Along with that is a GoFundMe because I've still got a hole in my ceiling. They got it covered, yay, but it's still there. And my computer and my chair and a couple of other pieces of equipment, um, I need replacing. I have a GoFundMe. The link to the GoFundMe is in the description of this video. So it was run of the mill, and they better not kill off Saru. That is what Norman said. You know, that would be dumb. That would be dumb because you didn't even use Saru enough this season. If they kill off Saru, I'm gonna be very pissed. You shouldn't even brought that up. It did have very, very, very nice visual effects in the video. Why do I keep calling it a video? In the episode, the visual effects were great. Did I have issues with the story? A little. Is it getting us where we want to be, which is one episode closer to knowing what the progenitor tech is, to meeting Tahal? All of these things, we are one episode closer, but some of this shit probably should have been answered in this episode. The only thing that we accomplished in this episode, to me, is getting Saru back, is getting Raynor to put his ass in the chair. And hey, March. And what else did we learn? Oh, and everybody patching up the little rifts that were going on in our interpersonal relationships. And by that I mean Book and Burnham. They had their face-to-face. I love you. Ooh, I love you too. So we had that face-to-face. Saru and Tarina had their moment of reconnection in this video, or in this episode. Let me see. Norman says, I do not like Moll as a villain, and I have trouble buying the entire Breen ship would follow her. I got some issues with how easily they followed her. How this didn't get passed over as far as leading the ship. This didn't get passed over to the highest ranking Breen officer that was still remaining on the ship after Primarch Room was killed. It didn't fall to them, it fell to Moll. And that is not believable. Why would they trust her? Okay, she said she's going to bring back the Scion. That's reason enough to go along with her plan. But why would you trust her to be in charge when you know nothing of this woman? So yeah, that's an issue. Marge is here, and Marge is defending Moll as one of the most interesting antagonists on Discovery. What makes her interesting is her motives. To me, her motives are not just some old selfish. She's trying to do something for somebody that she loves. So this is not just like, this is my selfish reason for wanting to just sit here and twirl my mustache. She really has a reason for being so urgent and wanting to get this progenitor tech, because her love is deceased. She wants to bring him back. Marge also said the book Michael face to face in the midst of a crucial mission. It's like, why? And I got ideas on that. We'll get to that when we get to that. I've got ideas on how that scene would have played out better. Norman says, like more on who were the progenitors and maybe ethics regarding this tech. There really has been no discussion on either 9 out of 10 episodes in. So there hasn't been any discussion between who these progenitors are and what ethics, what were they looking for somebody to be worthy of holding this tech. We don't have an answer. We are going into episode 10 without an answer. This is like what we've been building up to for the season. But one of the things that Discovery still seems to struggle with, and I'm still I'm saying they struggle with it, even though you guys know I still love the series. But one of the things that they still struggle with is the pacing, the timing. When should we start introducing key elements to this surprise at the end, instead of making saving everything for the 10th episode? I was excited when they let us know off the top where we were going and what we were going after. But then they seem to have slowed us down with a couple of episodes in here, which, while they were decent episodes, pretty decent episodes, it slowed down the treasure hunt. And it also had us spinning our wheels for a little while, because you think about it, even this episode, we spun our wheels quite a bit. We did see some action. We did see some great visual effects. We did get this awesome heist. But could we have gotten more? They trust, Marge is saying they trust her, Moll, because the Breen society is a very hierarchical and ritualistic society. Moll and Locke branded themselves as married. It's enough. Is it though? Because Locke wasn't even given the kind of what word am I looking for? The primary missions. He was put off, because they like, yeah, you go, you guard, just guard her. We're not giving you anything too important to do. So if they're not giving him anything too important to do, why would being his wife make a difference, Stone? It seems to me that the only reason they're keeping him around is because he's the Scion and he's not trying to take the throne. And everybody knows that he's not trying to take the throne. He doesn't associate with the Breen, he doesn't associate himself with the Breen culture as much as other Breen do. So if they're not don't take him seriously enough to make him a part of crucial missions, they give him like the lower level assignments, why would it matter whether or not they're married? The easier thing to do is that Locke is gone. we might as well kill her too. If we are making them out to be the kind of stereotypical, y'all know, yes, type villain. If it's that type of villain, why wouldn't they just kill her once Locke was gone? And now we can really just bang it out over who's going to take the throne. I don't know. He's still the son, bloodlines. He still has the bloodlines that are important to the Breen. And Marge says, I don't think the Breen think as individuals, they just follow orders. Then why would they allow her to kill Primarch Room? They had to be thinking individualistically then, because she pointed out he doesn't care about you guys. He only cares about getting the throne. He don't even care about the Scion. He only cares about what the Scion represents as far as him ruling the Breen. And he don't care anything about his lower level lieutenants. He doesn't care about them because he's willing to let them die. And he talks to them like crap. So after he was gone, I would think they would do the Klingon thing. Okay, which one of us is going to take this ship? But they might not be Klingon types. You know, it might seem that way, but I get that they are probably a completely different society than the Klingon. If Megan told the British Army to invade a nation, would they do it? Even better yet, if Kate Middleton, because they ain't listening to Megan and Harry, even though that's perfect, because Megan and Harry walked away. That was perfect, Norman. I was about to just talk over that, but then the more I think about it, yeah, they left the royalty. Now, after they have been apprehended as having this Eriga on them, if Harry was deceased, no longer with us, would Megan be able to say, yeah, I'm taking over the country right now? I don't think she would. They definitely are romantics now. They're romantics, because you see, Book almost got them. Book almost got them. Well, at least one of them. I'm pretty sure Book probably could have talked 4 or 5 Breen into getting in the oil bath with him, but I digress. This is fiction, but that's why. But it still should make sense. And this is not me indicting you for saying that it makes sense, but this is me saying, in my opinion, that they could have made that a little bit cleaner. Instead of putting her in charge of that ship, they could have made things a little bit cleaner, even in fiction, because none of this is real, and there is no real world repercussions behind them doing things in the way that they did them. However, you got to admit that it could have been cleaned up a little bit. So we know that there are other things that they had their mind on. And there's a lot of stuff that needs to be closed out by next week. And I'm still only at 90%, but this thing is saying 6 minutes remaining, and I'm going to believe it. This thing been going for an hour. Lord have mercy. But then again, a bunch of idiots stormed the U.S. Capitol. No, that was a non-violent protest. Silly. That wasn't an insurrection or a bunch of idiots storming. That was a non-violent protest, and everybody was having fun. You didn't see the clips, you didn't see the videos. I'm being a little bit facetious, y'all know. I'm being a little bit facetious. Marge forgot. Table, you girl. Don't forget now, everything was on the up and up on January 6th. The real problem was those other quote unquote riots that was going on before there, where people had thought they had a reason to have protests, and they got tear gassed, and they got a lot of stuff happened to them. Lord. But I guess a lot of stuff happened to the January 6 people, because a large percentage of them are serving time in jail. So, okay, I quit. I'm not going to talk about them. We got 92% before I can put this up and let y'all just see what I put together before we start breaking it down. We've already started breaking it down, but before we start really getting in depth, I do want you guys to see that, because if I made it, I want it to be seen, right? But it explains everything linearly, where you don't have to hear me bouncing around so much, and I can actually stop it and pick up questions so that I'm not losing my spot as I'm talking. Oh, that makes sense. Who do I got here? 3 people on YouTube. So all 3 of you, I hope you've hit the like button. I hope that you guys, if you know anybody else who's watching Star Trek Discovery, before we get into the meat and potatoes of this thing, share the live stream if you know somebody who would be interested in it. While I'm waiting this last 3 minutes and 45 seconds for this this clip to come up, I am going to go to see what else, what other Star Trek related stuff do we need to talk about. They got a fan run convention coming up in Trek Long Island. They're bringing the Star Trek community together for a unique fan run convention that starts on May 31st. So if you are in the Long Island area, run on out there and see what's going on in the fan run convention on May 31st through June 2nd at the Hyatt Regency. And I don't know this word. It's in New York. Dang. I'm gonna put this word in the chat, or the name of this town in the chat. Somebody might know how to pronounce that. I put it there for you. So if you can pronounce it, yay for you. March, y'all know how I am about leaving the house. I talked myself out of going to the convention. It was this weekend. So the convention that I was going to do it started yesterday. No, it started Friday. Gosh, I can't remember. It either started Friday or Saturday. Whichever way you look at it, I talked myself out of it. I really do have a hard time leaving the house and going to these things, and I don't have any medication. So last year when I did it, and I think we successfully did, we had a very successful panel, me, Clarence, and Jonathan from Discussing Trek. We had a successful panel, but I couldn't get out of there fast enough. And then this year, with all the stuff that happened, I couldn't get myself to do it. I apologize. Hopagy or Hopage, or I'm glad to be talking to y'all too. At least we can do that. I don't have to I ain't gotta go too far. Even though these people, if they don't want to let me be great, because see, I get nervous, I get more anxiety going out. I have to battle a little bit of anxiety about getting started on certain things. I don't know what it is. Getting started with something is so difficult, but once I get started, it's like it does, but I have to convince myself to get started. Yeah, and I kind of had a setup. I enjoyed the setup. Everything became like kind of muscle memory, and then now changing things, and you got the excuse, but changing things and having my bed showing and all of this, the way things are set up now, it kind of takes me out of it. Takes me out of wanting to do live streams because my background ain't what I want it to be. It's my freaking room. Anyway, we got 1 minute and 15 seconds left on that before. Um, oh, and Norman was reminding me about Holly Hunter. Holly Hunter is going to be leading Starfleet Academy as the chancellor of the Academy. So if you don't know who Holly Hunter is, she is an Academy Award winning actress. To add to a nice little slew of Academy Award winners that are in the Star Trek family. We got a new one, y'all. Holly Hunter is going to star in the young adult focused Starfleet Academy series, playing the captain and chancellor of Starfleet Academy. Hunter's Hollywood career spans decades, starting in the 80s, including a breakout role in Raising Arizona and her first Oscar nomination for broadcast news. She went on to pick up 3 more Academy Award nominations, and she won in 1994, the year I became a mommy, for her leading role in the film The Piano. She is also known for voicing Helen Parr in the 2 Incredibles Pixar movies, which are 2 of my favorite Pixar movies. Hunter's television resume is also extensive, including multiple Emmy nominations and 2 wins. She starred in the TNT series Saving Grace, which ran for 3 seasons from 2007 to 2010. Most recently, she was part of the cast of the NBC sitcom Mr. Mayor, which ran for 2 seasons between 2021 and 2022. So she said, I'm sorry, Alex Kurtzman and Noga Landau said in a statement, "It feels like we spent our entire lives watching Holly Hunter be a stone cold genius. To have her extraordinary authenticity, fearlessness, sense of humor, and across the board brilliance leading the charge on Starfleet Academy is a gift to all of us and to the enduring legacy of Star Trek." So the new series is set at Starfleet Academy in San Francisco in the 32nd century, and it is the same time frame, of course, established in Star Trek Discovery. It is set to go into production in late summer at Pinewood Studios in Toronto. So we still have I don't know if this is the same synopsis for Starfleet Academy. I'm going to go ahead and read it. The series will follow the adventures of a new class of Starfleet cadets as they come of age in one of the most legendary places in the galaxy. Star Trek Starfleet Academy introduces viewers to a young group of cadets who come together to pursue a common dream of hope and optimism. Under the watchful and demanding eyes of their instructors, they discover what it takes to become Starfleet officers as they navigate blossoming friendships, explosive rivalries, first loves, and a new enemy that threatens both the Academy and the Federation itself. Now, I'm wondering about this enemy. Who are we going to see as the enemy in Starfleet Academy? That is definitely that's definitely a very interesting. Today we are here to discuss Star Trek does sound a bit like Prodigy, don't it? I guess I said, but we got rid of Prodigy, so it doesn't exist anymore. now we need to do this or this. Okay, so the clip finally is here. So let's just start it from the beginning. And if you want me to pause, type in pause. If I think of something to talk about, I'll pause. Today we are here to discuss Star Trek Discovery Season 5, Episode 9. Yes, we are up to the penultimate episode of Star Trek Discovery ever. And it debuted on Thursday, May 23rd. It was written by Sean Cochran and Ari Friedman, directed by Mr. Two Takes himself, Jonathan Frakes. For everyone that was looking for Saru, the man right here we kick things off with Saru strolling back to Federation headquarters. He got some flowers in his hand. He is ready for a romantic rendezvous with his boo, Tarina. But alas, duty calls, and he's whisked away to a crisis meeting with the president instead, who has also been missing for the last couple of episodes. But I think they explained it a little bit better. So poor Saru, he had this little buzzkill. He has to go straight to a meeting instead of hooking up with Tarina. Now, President Rillick caught everyone up on the chaos from the last episode where Moll off the room. Now, Primarch Tahal is gunning for a dreadnought, and if she finds out about that sweet progenitor tech, everybody's screwed. Everybody is screwed. Meanwhile, the disco crew is still patching up the ship, but they risk a spore drive jump to beat Moll to the mysterious coordinates. They made it, y'all. And what do they find? A double dose of black holes. Now, talk about a bad hair day, just a bad day, period. You're in the middle of two black holes. And then you see that cylinder. Tilly thinks all of this is interesting. Again, this is the wrong time for you to be chilling and talking about how interesting things is. There is no time for stargazing, Tilly. Tilly's science magic's a way out of being turned into space spaghetti, and the crew scrambles to safety. And we know about space spaghetti because all of us have watched Loki season 2, where we saw Jonathan Majors as he who remains get spaghettified several dozen times in that episode. But anywho, uh, a shiny cylinder floating between the black holes in the Lagrange point. You didn't think that title was going to come up so quickly. The Lagrange point is hiding a cylinder between those black holes. That's got to be where those scientists, the 24th century brainiacs, hid that progenitor tech. Everyone takes a moment to marvel at the cosmic spectacle before the Breen ship comes, and they didn't waste no time. They went ahead on and attached their tractor beam to that doggone cylinder and pulled it right out from up under their noses. So, galactic cock block anyone. So, if we remember, the Breen had the map because Discovery gave that up last episode. So, they crack open this container using that map, and boom, it's a portal to another dimension. Iconians, anyone. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be the Iconians. This has been the horse that I've been riding this entire season, and I ain't about to get off now. So, it could be that these portals to another dimension could be Iconian portals. Moll, being the eager little beaver that she is, starts sending in Breen scientists, red shirts, to explain this entire portal deal. But luckily for our heroes, Moll doesn't have that one clue that Michael got from Avatar book. Remember in last episode, Avatar book told her a little secret that she knew, but the audience didn't. Well, now there's still time to swoop in and steal the prize because Michael knows something that the Breen don't know. Now, Adira, ever the genius, suggests beaming the cylinder back to the disco using the transport locks. And how do we get close enough to beam it in? It's heist time, baby. We got a heist. Yep, you didn't think that we're going this way. I didn't think it was going to go this way. But baby, it's heist time. Now, the plan is pure space movie magic. We're going to sneak a shuttle through a weak spot in the Breen shields and deploy two teams, the Alpha team and the Beta team. They're going to be disguised as Breen. So Alpha team heads to the bridge to lower the shields, while Beta team slaps on a transporter lock onto this cylinder. So now we got our Alpha and our Betas. Alpha is going to be Adira and Reese. Beta is going to be Michael and Book. After some fatherly fretting from Stamets, Adira and Reese, because he is the big security guard on board the ship. So Reese and Adira take point. They go into the Alpha team. They are the ones who have to lower the shields. Michael leads Beta team, and with Book as their trusty pilot, they are the ones who are going to slap on the transporter lock. Now, Cleveland Booker calls the whole thing insane. And if Book calls it insane, it's effing crazy. And he's proven right. They nearly become deep fried space crisps flying through the dreadnought's exhaust. Alpha Team marches off to the bridge where Adira channels their inner mean girl and bullies a poor ensign away from his console. Meanwhile, Beta Team heads to the shuttle bay, cracking jokes as usual and having a heart-to-heart about her mind palace revelation. And I'm like, this ain't the best time for this little heart-to-heart conversation. I understand you feel like you need to say it in case something bad happens here and you don't get a second opportunity. But priorities, people. Now, back at Federation headquarters, President Rillick is trying desperately to get in contact with Primarch Tahal, and she is getting the silent treatment. They toss around the idea of sending the USS Mitchell, to intercept the Breen Primarch, but they ultimately decide on a less aggressive approach. So they're going to send this shuttle equipped with that fancy new pathway drive that I really know very little about, but we're going to change that in just a moment. Before Tarina can even start brainstorming before we move on, the pathway drive, because that was a question that came up in our Discord. BT dubs, if you're not part of the Discord, you can go to the link tree in the show notes, the description of this live stream, and there's a link there to all of ways you can catch up with me. Join our Discord and join the conversation. So we were asking, like, does Discovery have a pathway drive and a freaking warp drive? And a couple of us were unclear, and I think that it should have been made a little bit more clear, but it seems like they were saying it to us the entire time. We just weren't paying attention. That yes, there is a warp and a pathway. I mean, there's a warp and a spore drive on Discovery, whereas these new ships, beginning with the Voyager J and this shuttle that they are going to introduce us to later, they have the pathway drive. The pathway drive was an experimental, faster than light propulsion system developed by the United Federation of Planets in the late 32nd century to lessen their dependence on dilithium. We first heard about it in Kobayashi Maru in that episode. I'm going to hit play because we are going to go into a little bit more on the spore drive. You guys can read that part yourself because it seems like I'm losing my voice here. Should lead this mission. Saru volunteers because he's a great guy. And even though that he is about to get married really soon, the wedding is impending to Tarina. Norman saying that he believes the spore drive is the fastest. I think so too. It starts to serve it starts to not serve the story when we can just jump there in a matter of seconds. So, okay, they're ending the spore drive with Discovery. It starts there, it ends there. And then we're going to the to this, what do you call it? The pathway drive. And the pathway drive is faster than regular warp, but slower than the spore drive. He is putting duty first, and he knows that she will understand it because of her basis in logic. They finally get their romantic moment, complete with this heart-to-heart about the eternal struggle between love and duty. And we see them at least get that moment to reconnect. David had a question: what is up with dilithium? We learned in season 3 of Star Trek Discovery that there was a dilithium shortage. throughout the entire galaxy. That is what we affectionately refer to as the burn. The burn in and of itself was not a bad plot device. It was the way they explained the burn that I wasn't too happy with. There are people who were 100% okay with the burn being what it was. But what I did like is that it stymied galactic travel. So this is a spacefaring society, several spacefaring societies that were all dependent upon the same fuel source. And once that fuel source became scarce, everybody kind of started crawling back into their cocoons and getting back into their xenophobia and that kind of thing. And it served the story. The burn did. It served the story, but it could have been executed a little bit better. But instead of sitting around waiting for something like this to happen again, the heads of states of all of the people in the Federation began to say, what can we do? What kind of drive can we make that will make it where we are not so heavily dependent on dilithium? And the spore drive was one of the possibilities, but then they had also had this pathway drive. And the pathway drive ended up winning out. The spore drive is going to be shelved with Discovery. Whenever Discovery is taken to the museum, the spore drive is too. Meanwhile, back on the disco, Rayner is pacing around on the bridge like a caged tiger, preparing the crew for action. He's not interested in sitting in that captain's chair. What captain's chair? I don't even see a captain's chair. He's not interested in sitting in the captain's chair, and he definitely does not need any warm and fuzzy encouragement from Tilly. Keep it grumpy, Rayner. We love you. We love you for your grumpiness. Over on the Breen Dreadnought, Michael and Book are working their charm on the Breen guards. A little bluff here, a little knockout there, a little fisticuffs, and they are in the shuttle bay just in time to witness another Breen scientist get sucked into this glowing cylinder. To deactivate the quarantine field, Book steps up to distract the guard. Now, this was kind of cute to me because he's distracting this guard with his irresistible Riz. Y'all didn't think I knew what Riz meant. Yeah, he's got that Riz. Turns out even a helmet and refrigeration suit cannot hide that sweet Book appeal. And while he's busy promising a group date at the oil bath, Michael gets to work disabling that field. Right before everything gets settled, we think that we're about to get out of here unscathed, but nope. Moll gets a tip about the missing shuttle bay guards, and she orders a lockdown, and a swarm of Breen soldiers head towards the cylinder. Looks like Book's seductive powers have finally met their match because it ain't enough of him. It ain't enough of him to go around to entice all of these Breen guards. Beta team is in a bind. So Rayner decides to throw that Hail Mary. He dials up the drama by hailing Moll. And she answers. This is when she finds out that the disco did not explode as they thought they did last week. But he spins this yarn about Burnham being the person who passed away. So now he is in charge of the ship. He offers to protect Moll from Tahal, but she's not interested in playing nice with the Federation, and she's trying to basically revive Locke long before Tahal gets there. Meanwhile, Moll tracks down the Alpha team, blows their cover, snatches the transport lock. Michael and Moll exchange some sassy banter. Rayner, ever the observant one, cracks Burnham's secret code, because she always has a secret code, or she always has an ace up her sleeve. Here is our plan. So brace yourself, everybody. And I mean everybody. If you on the bridge or if you in the lower decks, you need to hold on tight with all your might, because here's the plan. We are going to fly the disco right through the Breen shuttle bay's energy field and beam Michael, Book, and the cylinder out as they get catapulted into space. That doesn't sound the least bit scary. Not at all, right? Totally doable. Anyway, Alpha Team drops the shields, causing a commotion that draws attention. Reese goes beast. I like that I said Reese goes beast. Y'all see what I did there. And even Adira throws a few punches. She got some licks in before they got beamed back to the disco. And I keep saying she, and I mean they. I apologize for that. Moll then realized that this has all been Starfleet and the whole Starfleet rules. They decide to ditch the fight, take her chances with this portal. I'm sorry. She's not going by herself though, because she's got Locke's body tucked away in a handheld pattern buffer. Yeah. So she is going to take Locke along with her on this excursion to the other side of the dimension or the portal, whatever this is. Anywho, Burnham is still trying to keep the tech out of Breen's hands. She follows Moll, but she turns around and she gives this look to Book. That look of, I know this is crazy, and I've done crazier things, baby, and I plan to get out of this, but I gotta go. And I guess he understands. And I think it would have been better here if, instead of doing all that talking um, about what she experienced in the Mind Palace at the library, I think instead of talking about it, because Sonequa Martin Green can do so much with just her face, they should have allowed her face to do the speaking. So this scene would have been that much more important if we hadn't already had this conversation that we probably didn't need to have. Anyway, so everything froze because I had my freaking mute on. I'm sorry, and I was talking too. Um, what I was saying is that Sonequa Martin Green does so much with just her expressions that we should have trusted her in this moment, that this look that she gave to Book would have been far more than us talking about what happened in the Mind Palace and you were there and Auntie and everybody. We didn't need all of that conversation. What we needed was just this look from Sonequa Martin Green, and Book would have known she still loves me, and I cannot let anything happen to my baby. That's where we should have left this. And hopefully everything is not frozen anymore. Hopefully you guys can can hear me now. Anyway, Disco plunges through the energy barrier, chaos ensues, the cylinder floats out into space, breaks apart, And it reveals this portal on the inside. Book is now back on the bridge. Got on his leather jacket. He transported right back into the outfit that he had on before he left. But anywho, Book drops the bombshell. The captain is in that portal. Scans turn up empty. Tilly has declared she's just gone. So that's just another thing that we have to tie up in this season finale that's coming up. And Rainer, he's like, I got ideas. I'm not giving up. And you shouldn't either. He rallies the crew with this failure is not an option speech. And, he does a great job of not surrendering his personality and still endearing himself to this crew. They're going to get Burnham and the tech no matter what. And to prove that he means business, Rainer finally sits his ass in the captain's chair. And then he said, let's do it. Boom, 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 boom. And that's where they leave us hanging until the finale, which hopefully proves to be epic, satisfying, and exciting. These are the things that we're looking for next week's finale. And that is my recap. Let's get into the discussion. So that's that for that, y'all. And it was fun doing it that way. I just got to remember things. There are things that I got to remember. So maybe tomorrow, if you're here for the Doctor Who discussion, it'll be just a little tiny bit more streamlined. And every week I might get it more streamlined. This was my first time doing it this way. Y'all always come up with some insight. And I'm going to start not with the oldest comment. I'm going to start with the latest comment. Norman said, Book is like Troy. He can sense all that that's there. And I agree with that. And I also, as an example, and I don't know if I said this when my mic was muted and you guys heard me. Let me know if you heard me say this. Just think about Beverly Crusher and Admiral Picard in season 3 of Picard, when Beverly Crusher is coming to tell Picard that he is the father of this 20-something-year-old kid that he didn't know existed. They stood in that room, and for a few beats, it never is as long as it feels, but it was a few beats where they just stood there in silence. And that silence spoke volumes, because these two characters have established a relationship of at least friendship that we knew of. We didn't know that they was doing all of that. We know that they are friends, and mutual respect between these two people. And they know each other well enough that a word does not need to be said. And I think that we could have done the same thing with Sonequa and David Ajala. These two characters spent a lot of time together prior to Burnham catching back up with the crew of the Discovery back in season 3. And they've spent a lot of time together since. So their relationship is not new. I can look at my son a certain way and convey a whole statement because we know each other so well. And that, to me, is the trust that they should have given to Sonequa Martin Green and David Ajala. Marge said she also agrees that Michael could have communicated to Book with just a look. She got that faith. The episode of Doctor Who recap should be interesting. I mean, I think a lot of you, maybe you can tell from just the way I titled it, that I got some questions, that my questions got answers, and I'm going to talk about Doctor Who far more tomorrow. But yes, Doctor Who is top of mind right now, besides Evil, because that's coming too. Let me see what else. There was that battle of the binary stars callback that Norman picked up on. And then Marge made sure that we realized that the villain in the Starfleet Academy show might not might not be like the Klingons or this group or that group. She says the villain in an academic scenario depends on the point of view. For instructors or professors, it's always administrators. So it could be somebody who is just making it hard for everybody else, as far as an administrator or even a professor, somebody who doesn't feel like they should pass people. You know, we got crazy ass professors like that who said, you know, you come to my class and only 4 people have passed this class. That's not something that you should be beating your chest about, homie. It's not good that your class, that you're not teaching well enough for people to pass. But then there are some people who believe that that's a feather in your cap because nobody can pass your class. I'm like, well, who the hell are you teaching then? Anyway, so yeah, what else do I got for us on ratings and like what's missing here? Now I know we haven't spoken to Clarence today. At least I haven't spoken to him today. I don't know if he's doing his live stream tomorrow. I should have caught up with him prior to this so I would have an answer, because tomorrow is a holiday. But if he's doing his live stream for tomorrow, we're gonna save our 4 out of 4 this or 4 out of 5 that. That's Clarence's thing, and I like it there. I don't mind you doing it here, but you know, that's their thing over there. So today you could just give me your ratings. Gosh, why couldn't I say that word, ratings? Give me your ratings today. For me, this episode earned a 4 out of 5, and 4 out of 5 for the reasons that I think maybe I didn't make completely clear. But the thing number one is the Sonequa Martin Green and David Ajala stopping to talk in the midst of this calamity. But also, Tilly did the same thing at the beginning of the episode. She started talking and getting excited about these dual black holes instead of them bringing the cylinder on board, because you see the Breen ship wasted no time. When they pulled up with their tractor beam on. And they probably had just about the same amount of time to formulate a plan as to how they was going to get that cylinder on their ship as Discovery did. So the Discovery took its sweet buttermilk time, and they lost out to the Breen and Moll. Oh, Marge says a 4.5 out of 5. It's a good setup for the finale. I agree that we're in a good place. I really wish they would have gave us something. They don't have to tell us. They didn't have to tell us who the Iconians. I mean, not Iconians. You see here, you see where my mind is going. They didn't have to tell us who the progenitors were, but they could have given us just a little bit more. So yeah, I'm wondering if we're going to find out that the changelings, you know, there is so many questions that need answers, because the changelings don't have a real form, so it wouldn't be them, right? Because the progenitors made everyone in their own image, and because the changelings don't have a form, I'm going to assume that it's not them, even though the Breen kind of being like in between a changeling and a regular humanoid is a very interesting thing. That us learning that the Breen are in this sweet spot between between humanoid, regular humanoid, and a changeling. I just, yes, it's just so much that I can glean from these things. So many questions that have yet have answers to. And I want some answers. Duh. Ooh, Norman, you're brutal. Norman said 2 out of 5. Moll brings it down, and we know nothing more of the progenitors right now than in the chase right now. So, yeah, he said 2 out of 5, and that's like, I'm gonna beat you up. but I can see why you would be so adamant, because I'm adamant that we needed something answered, some question besides where Saru has been. Some question needed to be answered. We got a lot of shit that has to happen in next episode. This was the shortest episode at 46 minutes. I think 46 minutes and 47 seconds. So this was a short episode. We need to see far more. I mean, well, we need more than what we had this episode to make things make sense for next episode. I'm trying to make sure that was 46 minutes and 47 seconds for the runtime of this episode. We're gonna need at least 46 minutes and 57 seconds. So right around 47 minutes. We're gonna need at least 10 to 12 more minutes probably to satisfactorily end this thing, because there's so much that has to be wrapped up. We got to see the wedding. If we don't see the wedding, I'm going to be plenty upset. Plenty. We have to see Saru and Tarina get married. I got a strong, sneaky suspicion that Burnham and Book is probably going to get married too. You know, we already know that Stamets and Culber, they're married already. So we're not going to see that wedding. But I believe that it's going to be a double wedding. And it shouldn't be. But I believe that we're going to see Burnham and Book tie the knot. And we're going to see Saru and Tarina tie the knot. I believe that. I'm still rolling with the Iconians. Why change? I don't have to change. Why change? And I'm rolling with what else we got? Moll and Locke coming back. Well, Locke coming back. And I'm wondering if he'll be the same person that she buried or whatever happened to his body. I wonder if bringing him back will be some Pet Cemetery type shit. But of course they can't do that, because then that would make us need a whole nother episode to talk about that. So there's that. I'm wondering if we'll see Tahal. Is this going to be somebody that we just hear mentioned, or will we actually see her? When we see her, and will Saru be in like mortal danger, going to try to have a conversation with Tahal, and that is going to make Raynor have to take Discovery into the fray, and he will get some redemption for what happened to his family at the hands of Primarch Tahal way back during the burn. Lots of questions that I'm hoping that we get some answers for. Final episode is supposed to be close to 99 minutes. Now, if it's 99 minutes, I'm good. An hour and 40 minutes, I'm good. Or close to an hour and 40. I'm trying to see. Screen Rant does say it will be longer. And I guess I can share this screen with you guys. I'm trying Make sure that is. Oh, you meant 90 minutes. And that's still an hour and a half is long enough. Star Trek Discovery series finale will be a longer episode, confirmed by Sonequa Martin Green and the showrunner. Star Trek Discovery series finale is confirmed to be a longer episode. Series finale, Life Itself, is scheduled to premiere May 30th on Paramount Plus. Showrunner Michelle Paradise, Sonequa Martin Green promised emotional, powerful final moments to wrap up the series in a complete way. So Screen Rant is not giving us an amount of time, but I would think that an hour and 30 minutes would be ample. If we get a 90-minute episode, it will be ample for closing out Star Trek Discovery in a satisfactory manner. In an interview with Collider, Star Trek Discovery showrunner Michelle Paradise verified the series finale will be an extended episode to accommodate the epilogue that was filmed in spring 2023 after Paramount Plus allowed Discovery's cast and crew 3 more days of production to create a coda to wrap up the series. While it's unclear how long Star Trek Discovery series finale will be, Paradise joked it will be under 7 hours. She said it's a longer episode. Yes, we're not spoiling anything. It's under 7 hours. Michelle Paradise also answered a question about how important the final few minutes of Star Trek Discovery series finale will be in terms of closing out the series. Michelle says, absolutely, that was huge. Alex Kurtzman and I talked about it a lot in terms of what those final moments would be, what it would look like, and what did we want to do there. You always want to wrap a season in a really wonderful way. Wrapping a series, especially when we didn't know going into the season that it would be the final season, we thought a lot about it and we put a lot into it. I do think that people will really enjoy it and that it will feel of a piece and feel complete in a really, really good way, even if it's bittersweet. And then Sonequa Martin Green had this to add. Oh my goodness, emotional is like an understatement, right? Like Michelle was saying, we didn't know going in. So when we were able to come back to do these additional shoots, or really it was one additional shoot, but we had to pack a ton into a short period of time. So we bonded even more there on the tail end. It was like, let's go big because we're about to go home kind of thing. So there were so many tears, but it was also so much celebration. I'm so thankful to God that I was able to be here, able to be with her, with Alex, with Tunde Usansami, with the cast and crew, and to build this. It's like, we've done it. We did it. We have our contribution. Here it is. And we'll always have it. We'll always have each other. So it was all of that going through your mind, swirling through your mind and your heart. I can specifically remember the last moments, the last take. They're going to make us cry. Yeah, I'm long overdue for some tears. I'll get to have something. Yep. Give me a reason to shed some emotion. But yeah, that's it. That's all I got. I don't have anything else. What you guys got? If you guys don't have anything, we could call it. We could call it a live stream, especially since I'm going to be doing one for the next 3 days. I'm going to be doing a live stream. So tomorrow's live stream is going to be Doctor Who's 73 Yards. The following day, Tuesday, is going to be Evil, How to Split the Atom. I think that was the name of it. How to Split an atom. Gosh. Thank you, Marge. Thank you for hanging out with me. And I will definitely look for you for Evil on Tuesday. We got a lot coming up. Oh, BT Dubs, I'm sorry. Look in the show notes. if you are able to help with the GoFundMe, because like I was saying at the beginning of this episode, I got a GoFundMe. It's not to fix the ceiling. My apartment complex is supposed to be coming to fix the ceiling and the roof. How long has it been? You see, I'm still waiting, right? So, but because my computer is in a bad way, my chair, my light, all of that got crushed under the weight of the freaking ceiling as it piled down onto my stuff. I have a GoFundMe that is raising money to get this stuff replaced. That's basically what it is. Y'all know this is what I do. I don't have a day job. My day job is babysitting kids. I don't have an income. I would like to be able to continue to do this because this is my outlet as far as my social outlet. So if you can help, great. If you can't financially help, if you can share the GoFundMe and explain, maybe what the channel even means to you so that other people might be able to assist. And if can't nobody assist, so be it. We're all in the same position. So be it, so Bennett, I will figure something out. But yeah, I'm trying. I ain't got nothing else, y'all. It's been fun. And my freaking phone always does this crap when I'm right in the middle of talking to y'all. That's it. That's all. I ain't got nothing else. If you're coming for Doctor Who tomorrow, I'll see you tomorrow. If not, I will see you when I see you. Live long and prosper. Peace.